Whether you are just starting out, looking for something new, or just seeing what's out there, the Gamasutra Job board is the place where game developers move ahead in their careers. Gamasutra's job board is the most diverse, most active, and most established board of its kind in the video game industry, serving companies of all sizes, from indie to AAA. Here are just some of the many positions being advertised right now. If you are a recruiter looking for talent, you can also post jobs here. Location: Tokyo, Japan. The Advanced Technology Division is the research development department of Square Enix Japan, bringing together experts from the fields of rendering, animation, physics simulation, artificial intelligence, AI, networking, big data, workflow, mixed reality, AR, and sound. We not only research state-of-the-art of game technology, but also contribute to many productions. We are seeking motivated and experienced artists, programmers and technical artists to work with us in Tokyo on our next projects and push the boundaries in content creation. Location: Redwood City, California. Crystal Dynamics is looking for a talented software engineer to maintain and extend our world-class proprietary tools and pipelines. The ideal candidate would have solid large-scale software engineering skills, a proven track record of designing and implementing complex tools and pipelines, a strong desire to architect solutions and maintain systems within AAA development teams. This position requires the ability and willingness to design and fully implement complex tools, both as an individual contributor and with the help of a small team. Location: Seattle, Washington. We are looking for a full-time gameplay engineer to work on our upcoming session-based multiplayer FPS Steel Process. Steel Process is an adversarial SWAT shooter that delivers on planning and coordination. Each round, 2 teams of 5 confront each other in an attack-defend mission on a procedurally generated level. Before action, each team draws out a plan of attack or defense using SWAT equipment, such as breaching charges, flashbangs, ballistic shields, and night vision goggles. Location: Los Angeles, California. If you are an incredibly capable level designer with ample spatial reasoning skills, a strong sense of storytelling and pacing, and an artistic eye for great compositions, please reach out to us. We are looking for talented, passionate people to become part of our small crew, to help build and shape something ambitious and completely unique. Although we work incredibly hard, our studio is not a crunch factory. We like to live our lives, have holidays, and remain healthy throughout a project. Work-life balance is important. Location: Beverly Hills, California. The technical manager is responsible for managing the technical execution of Dunk's portfolio of interactive entertainment properties, with specific focus on location-based entertainment. You will work closely with internal stakeholders to help shepherd the successful planning, design, and execution of engaging interactive entertainment. Bryant Francis, at Bryant 2012, interviews game developers and has their words for Gamasutra. He also runs the GDC Twitch channel. 2019 is upon us. Good Lord, what a tumultuous year it's been. We gave a sad goodbye to some stellar studios, saw some proper accounting for the impact of sexual harassment in the game development workplace, and had constant conversation about how game workers can improve their lot in an industry that can call for intense work conditions. Amidst all the challenges, a lot of great developers put out some seriously great games this year, and we are getting a lot of chances at Gamasutra to celebrate them this week. Today, here's some of the games that your humble contributing editor video producer has truly enjoyed in 2018. 1-1-Bit Studios, Frostpunk was the 2018 game I could never stop thinking about. From the moment my poor survivors eached the totemic generator, sitting in the frozen Arctic North, every decision I spent with this society simulator helped me reckon with the demons of authoritarianism and how much control and the lies you can tell yourself in the name of the greater good. Frostpunk's thoughtful design means that it's not just an arbitrary moral messenger here to warn you of the wills of a police state, a theocratic regime. It's crafted to guide you on a path of different paths of pain points, to remind you that just because you did not commit higher crimes against freedom, your lesser decisions still infringed on the rights of your people, and as the pressure drops, and your city is freed from the frozen snow, in a great sigh of relief, you will look at its become and see how even its physical shape was impacted by how much you do give up in the name of survival. Marvel's Spider-Man is just one emotional pit stop for the well-headed hero who's had a hell of a 2018. He gave his life in the film Infinity War, has reframing his own heroic origins in Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, and when given a shot, Insomniac Games does not waste any time when granted us one of the biggest icons in pop culture. Not only does Marvel's Spider-Man give breath to a dizzying and dynamic traversal system that takes advantage of New York's iconic architecture, Insomniac also uses its mission design and gadget expertise to weave a narrative about the struggles of Peter Parker, and how his selfless nature and faith in other people can be used against him. But it's still not a cynical game. It's quippy, it's cute, and it gives Mary Jane Watson something to do. If superheroes are becoming the modern-day mythological heroes, it's great that Insomniac Games injects a meaningful experience in the middle of its well-honed, well-polished technical achievement. Speaking of mythological heroes, Assassin's Creed Odyssey lands on this list, doing its incredible simulation of the ancient Greek world. It's a massive credit to the world artists, the modelers, the architects, and the designers at Ubisoft around the world, who take the Ubisoft open world model and create a compelling, colorful experience out of it. It's a land where wandering away from the main quest takes you to a gorgeous mountain top that's not just a skybox, but has its own small secrets for you to dig up. Its side quests often go beyond just being part of a to-do list, rather show how vibrant, saucy, and overdramatic the great world could be sometimes. It's a history lesson in sex, drunkenness, and adventure, interested in human messiness, not just the shiny MacGuffin baubles. A lot of games on this celebrate the layering of intricate systems that create flashy and dynamic experiences when they all sync together just right. For long sales, it's not one of those games. It's a slow, lonely push across an apocalyptic landscape that moves at a snail's pace, letting you manage the individual components that push your dilapidated land boat forward. And it's just the right kind of slowness and sadness to stand out in 2018. Locomotive made this game after realizing the important project might just be worth parting out into the broader world, and the company deserves congratulations for making something so polished and thoughtful that it can affect such an emotional attachment to an inanimate object that you learn so much about. Yup, X-Wing Miniatures joins my list again, but for a good reason. I spent much of my gaming time this year anticipating and exploring Fantasy Flight's 2.0 conversion of the tabletop war guide. and it's incredible how the Minnesota-based company managed to perform a career revamp that supported veteran players and created space for new ones to join the game. Fantasy Flight's choice to not only effectively port their 2012 tour new rules set and dip their toes into the waters of app-reliant games shows how the tabletop space is evolving and can find more ways to support players who we've been collecting the product for years. More and more, game development evolves into game evolution, and XV Miniatures 2.0 is a stellar example for games in 2018 that metamorphosized into something new. Supergiant Games, no hack-and-slash adventure, has been out for only a couple of weeks and it's cemented itself into the pantheon of 2018. Not only does it show off Supergiant's traditional mastery over isometric combat and some of the best game feel of 2018, goodness gracious, it's a fundamentally great foundation for its early access period. Years from now, when you are reading this evaluation of Hades, it will be a fundamentally different game, and that's okay.